welcome back to another Backlog After Dark episode of My Buddy's Backlog. I'm joined here with my two lovely co-hosts, Matt.
Howdy.
And Gavin.
Hey.
And this week we're doing something a little different. We're going to do a bracket-style episode where we're going to do a comparison of, I guess the terminology for this is a little weird because we put a lot of restrictions on it, but home consoles from Nintendo, Sony, and Xbox. I guess the branded consoles, like not... We're not doing handhelds.
It's the big name consoles.
We're not going to have a Ouya or a Steam, the original Steam box
We're not doing Steam handhelds, Allies. We're not doing any handhelds, actually.
Though, let us know in the comments if you want to hear the handhelds episode next.
Yeah, there it is.
We're coming back around for that because I want to fight over the Nintendo DS versus the Game Boy Advance. But yeah, so we're going to have a bunch of different consoles. We've randomized a bracket. We're going to go, I guess... matchup by matchup and decide which one wins based on the merit of the consoles, not necessarily our personal feelings about them. And we're going to really just kind of try it out because this is new to us. So before we get started, we had to kind of narrow down the list to make it fit inside an even number, a 16
Power
console
of two.
bracket. Power of two.
We needed our sweet 16. We weren't going higher than that.
Too many matchups.
We had about 20 that we felt okay about, but it's kind of hard to do 20 unless you want to do like a wild card round. It got a little funky, so we cut out a few, but they did make the honorable mentions list.
Yeah, and we also wanted to like kind of focus on stuff that everybody had some exposure to in some form or fashion, right? I mean, like we could have put the Philips CDI on here. I wasn't alive and didn't have $900 or whatever.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, right?
And I'll be damned if we do any research for this show. No, only stuff we already know.
This is all free content, guys. Like, you can't expect too much.
Okay. Well, with that said, I've got the honorable mention list here, so we can go through them. I guess I'll list them off, and then we can maybe talk about them. First one was the Atari. 1977 first home console. We've got like Pong, Pitfall, the horrendous E.T. game. Apparently, I never played it, but I think it's the worst rated game of all time.
Yeah, it's like the worst rated game. It borderline caused the collapse of game industry right out of the gate in the early 80s. They buried all of the unsold copies in a desert in, I believe, Nevada, and it was a rumor. People thought it was like a playground rumor until like within the last 5 years, and people found the site and dug it up, and there were fucking
why did they do that?
That's how bad this game was.
So do you have one?
I don't actually have one.
Are they expensive?
No.
Oh, okay.
They probably pay me to take one. I need to probably get a sealed one just to have like that goofy
Feels
thing,
like it'd be
right?
expensive to get one of the desert hole the graveyard copies.
Yeah, and like we just have Atari at Grandiose. It's 2600 specifically we're talking about, but there was the 5200 and some other stuff. Just kind of respecting the founding father that Atari is the first home console that at this point your grandparents probably could have went to the store and would have had to have bought for your parents. You know, it predates all of us by many years. So
Yep, you got to put some respect on its name. I mean, Pong was the first. Is Pong the first home video game? Because I mean, there was arcade games before that, right? Yeah. But okay, nice. All right, well, I guess our next up on our list is not a founding father. It's kind of a redheaded stepchild, but we've got the Wii U in 2012. Very innovative. It set the stage for the Switch with the handheld home console hybrid situation. Apparently a lot of quality titles that have been...
Apparently.
I know. I'm reading off this list that Matt made, and I'm like, I don't know. Were there that many?
Yeah, I mean, we had like Donkey Kong Country and Tropical Freeze came out for that. Wonderful 101. Bayonetta 2 was exclusive to the Wii U, and then they did a Bayonetta 3, and then they retroactively finally have let it go.
No, Bayonetta 2 was on Switch. Are you saying it released on Wii U?
Yeah, it was exclusive to Wii U and like released for that originally. Bayonetta 3 then released, and then like a year later they released a combo pack with Bayonetta 2 and.
But wasn't 1. The first Bayonetta like on other consoles as well?
Yeah, it was on PS3, 360.
Okay,
as well. So all that same time.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so just like there's just a couple of the Yoshi games were on there. Xenoblade Chronicles, I don't remember if 2 was, but X definitely was, and that just got ported, and that's debatably the best of the four Xenoblade games.
Have you played it?
That one I have. I've not played. I've played Xenoblade 1, 2, and X, and it's like the more mature one. of the three of those. They're big, sprawling 100-hour JRPG
Yeah.
things, right?
I want to try them, but that's always
and the
what
second one does
scares me.
the weird thing
Yeah, that's
specifically where like
intimidating.
one of the like main party characters is like 14 and like her ass cheeks are hanging out, and that shit makes me just incredibly uncomfortable that it's a thing.
I don't know if I can do 300 hours of that.
Yeah, it's like one of the, and I didn't touch it until the Switch, and I was like, man, I'm not gonna play this on the airplane.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely not. There's no way.
But yeah, Rayman Legends, that's what that's from. So, which is the one that was like demoed a lot, where like every level at the end of the worlds has like a music level, and notoriously Castle Rock is a spin on Black Betty by Ram Jam. Yeah, and it's like a very precise time, like you jump when like the notes are hitting in certain spots, and
That's pretty fun.
and stuff. But like all the vocals are done by like the Rayman characters. They don't speak normal words, so it's like man up up ba ba da. It's like hilarious. That later then got ported to other stuff as well, but it was originally locked on the Wii U. So like a lot of companies were bought in to still make exclusives for Nintendo pretty heavy when that came, because it was coming off of the Wii, right? And then it was just kind of a weird thing. Super Mario 3D World, that's the other one.
So why do you think the Wii U flopped then?
I think it got stuck in this weird spot of like, is it kids? Do adults want it? I think the tablet thing was weird because like Nintendo consoles, we kind of all, I think even all of us kind of think of them as the more kid-forward friendly ones, right?
For sure.
Absolutely.
And even with the Switch, like you start adding like them moving the thing that is actually doing the processing around, you're really risking a lot of damage and expense. And it was weird. The tablet on the Wii U is really, really fucking huge. If you like think of a child trying to use it,
Yeah.
it feels weird in my 6'3" man hands, right? So not to drop my height for everybody.
Yeah, the tablet is, I don't know. I thought it was very interesting, but it was like marketed weird. Like I remember not even really understanding what it was whenever it came out. Like if it was a handheld or a home console.
A lot of people
like,
didn't realize that it was, and it was a Wii as well. It like could do both.
Oh.
Has the same sensor bar came with it that the Wii had. So
Does it
you
come
can play
with a
all,
Wiimote, or
you can
can you
play
use
all
the
Wii games.
tablet?
You can use the tablet or pair Wiimotes.
Was there a flagship Zelda game for the Wii U? Besides, I mean, I guess Breath of the Wild came out on the Wii U as well.
Actually,
but...
so Skyward Sword. I don't know if it was a flagship. So, yeah, Skyward
that
Sword
was Wii, wasn't
Wii.
it? Yeah.
So no,
Breath
of the Wild came out for both.
Yeah.
Is what it was right at the end of its life, because it launched the same time with Switch. Right,
Oh,
Switch
that's
was
what I
already
was
out,
thinking.
so
Yeah.
that's what it was.
Interesting.
So.
Well, maybe we should have put it in the bracket. We had a lot to say about it. But all right. The last honorable mention I have here is the Sega Genesis, 1989. It beat the SNES to market. It allowed blood in Mortal Kombat because Sega does what Nintendo don't.
That's right. Essentially, Nintendo was for the pussies. And the Genesis was for the manly man. You could see blood. It wasn't green goo dripping out and aliens. But yeah, and so, but it beat the Super Nintendo. Most of the games were the same. Beat the Super Nintendo to market by 3 years, roughly.
It
3
beat
or 4
it by
years.
3 years? That's crazy. Wow.
So, and then the biggest place we got to put respect, it had exclusive Castlevania games and stuff, but our Blue Hedgehog buddy, that's still going today.
Debut.
Sonic, that's where he's from, baby. Had his games. He's still going today. Contributed to a lot of inappropriate imagery on the internet.
What? What are you talking about?
Just Google Sonic the Hedgehog and turn off safe search. You don't even got to add the Rule 34
Don't have to add
part.
anything else. Yeah.
I mean, you'll find exactly what I'm talking about.
It's kind of wild.
Yeah, and so it's just worth mentioning. And then also, obviously, we got to mention it because it was one of Ryan's first consoles.
Sunset Riders, the most important game. Cool. Well, that's all the honorable mentions. So I guess we can jump right into the bracket after that. So we've got, I guess, eight matchups for our first round, and our first one is the Xbox Series X versus the Wii.
Do we want to preview all the matchups? Like just list them all for our audio only listeners?
Yeah, that's
Sure.
probably not a bad idea.
Yeah, I'll run down the list real quick. So you've got Xbox Series X and the Wii, and then next you have Xbox Original versus N64. Then you have PS4 versus PS5. And then NES versus Xbox 360. There seems to be a mistake on my paper because
then you got the Sega Genesis versus the Super Nintendo.
We just honorable mentioned, yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the Sega Genesis was an honorable mention. It's fun. We have an even bracket. It doesn't really matter. We've made a mistake somewhere.
Oh, that's my bad on my notes.
Cut?
It was the Sega Master System.
The Saturn.
That's what it was.
And the Saturn stuff, yeah, where it came out as originally with the PS3 and whatnot. So
that's fair. Well, he's back in the game just when he thought he was out. All right. So next after that is the Switch versus PS1, and then next matchup's PS3 versus PS2. That one seems kind of crazy to me. And then lastly, we've got GameCube versus Xbox.
Xbox One.
You're right.
Right? Okay.
My handwriting's terrible. I have this list ahead of me.
Dude, you even got you got yourself stumped with your handwriting?
I'm stumped. All right, cool. So, yeah, I mean, we were thinking maybe one of us can kind of present on behalf of the console just kind of the basic facts. Do either of you feel very strongly about the Series X or the Wii?
I have never touched a Series X, so
Yeah.
I don't think I should be the person to present any kind of case for it.
I have a Series X.
Yeah, Matt has everything,
you
so
guys
he's just
have
going to be doing most of
everything.
these.
So I'll try to defend
Sorry,
it.
you're gonna get stuck defending all the lesser consoles.
What are you trying to say, Ryan? Are the tables rigged
Hey,
already?
I'm putting my finger on the scale. I like the Wii more.
I bet you do. I bet you like waggling those little things around.
As a matter of fact, I do.
I do
The
like
whole
to
family
waggle.
does.
Did you wear it with the straps off, or were you a rebellious little kid in straps
Depends
off?
on if the parents were around.
If you think I ever played that without a strap on, you're crazy. I can't handle that level of stress in my life.
The sheer thought.
The
of
sheer thought
breaking
that-
anything.
Yeah, my parents would come home and I didn't have the strap on. I would have. There's no way. I could.
No, I got that thing on me, mom and dad. All right, so you want to take it away and tell us a little bit about the Wii?
Sure, I'll take the Wii.
Jesus, take the Wii.
So the Wii released in 2006. I'm sure. I mean, we all. I'm sure remember it. It was quite an event whenever the Wii came out. That one commercial and Wii Sports, the commercial we would like to play. You remember that? That was a really good marketing campaign. Wii Sports was like the best game on the system. It was such a crowd pleaser among families. I mean, now I think retirement homes use them for years afterwards.
Yeah.
They were super. I've only talked about Wii Sports so far, but I really do think that's a big part of the success of the Wii. Other than that, we've got Super Smash Bros. Brawl. We've got New Super Mario Brothers. One of the best integrations of the classic catalogs was the Virtual Console, and then you've got Super Mario Galaxy. Those are some of the big name games on the system. I have a lot of fond memories with the Wii, but yeah, I think that sums it up. So what do you got for the Series X?
Yeah, I guess to give a little respect, like I didn't have a Wii until many years later.
Oh, really? Okay.
It was about the time that I was like, this is kind of like it's the same thing with like VR, right? I'm kind of a slow adopter to that stuff. I don't care about the movement, but I know it's not going to be to the caliber that I want. But I did always think like some of the games were cool. Like I was late to getting to play Mario Galaxy 1 and 2,
Yeah.
which are phenomenal. Same thing for like Skyward Sword. Luckily, Twilight Princess came to the GameCube, right? Which is the superior way to play it anyway. So, but yeah, Gavin, what about on the Wii? Do you got any?
I mean, I just have a lot of fond memories because it was like everybody was getting it. That was at the stage I was still a kid. Like I wasn't really buying consoles for myself, but like my parents bought a Wii because they wanted it. You know what I mean? Like which was unheard of.
Yeah.
And like my neighbors had them. Like all my friends' parents did. Like we would actually get together and play Wii Sports, and so it just kind of like transcended. I feel like the medium.
It's actually shocking to me that it's not like in the top 5 best-selling consoles of all time.
Is it not?
Is it really not?
It's really not.
They
Now,
were-
like 3DS or DS or something like that is, and there's some stuff like that. But yeah, it's like in the top 10, but it's lower than you think because I feel like everyone had one. So 2006, I would have been. That was the year I would have turned 16. So 10th grade roughly, something like that. Yeah, definitely didn't have my own money. What games I had were hanging out with buddies that had them or something.
Yeah.
But it was always fun when I got to like play it because it was always with people. You didn't just. I don't know many people who just like sat and played the Wii alone. I mean, I did it many years later to play some of the games, but
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of memories sitting and playing the Wii alone, but like I was like the gamer kid of our family, you know, and like we had a Wii, so like I would be, you know, whenever it was free, I'd be playing whatever Zelda or something. Yeah. But
so now the story of the one that's going to grab it by the throat and take it out for this round, the Xbox Series X.
Oh man,
Xbox X Series X S1X. Yeah,
XXX.
How could you forget with that branding?
What were they on about with that? But it came out in 2020, right? And we had seen it. It was actually revealed before the PlayStation 5, which is its like direct competition console, right? It revealed like with the Hellblade 2, and Hellblade 2 was a exclusive, and that was right after Microsoft was like, we spent our millions of dollars and just bought a whole bunch of studios.
That was Sinuous Sacrifice was the first one? That was a good game.
Yeah, and then the second one, right, was exclusive, and it just came out within like the last like 2 years. It took so long for that to come out, but I digress on that because I'm trying to hype her up here.
Not doing the best job so far. Yeah. What do we have at launch? Any big Halos or Gears of War? No, nothing.
Nothing.
No. Wow. I think you got Gears 4 in no Gears at launch. I don't think. It had Dead Rising 3, which
awesome.
changed the protagonist. Well, I mean, it was just a departure. It wasn't like an extreme departure. It's still a very good Dead Rising game if you played them all. Everybody talks about 4 killing the franchise, but it was right towards the tail end of. So Game Pass already existed, and like, do we give Game Pass to a console, or is that like really something that a company did, like Xbox, right?
You mean like attributing it, to the Series X? Yeah.
But it really took off, and then the one big thing though that it does have right out of the gate is it is backwards compatible to a pretty significant level with all the way back to original Xbox. So you can I can walk out there now and pop in my copy of Stubbs the Zombie on Xbox Original into my Xbox Series X, and it'll boot right up and let me play.
I gotta respect that.
You love to just flex a random game. You didn't just say Halo Combat Evolved. You had to bring out Stubbs the Zombie.
Not a super rare game. It's just a game, like just a stupid game, right? But now. Again, is this a company decision, right? Which it is. Do we knock the console for it? Well, the console suffered for it. I mean, they got like Halo Infinite and then like hardly any exclusives. There's probably a Forza. I think Dead Rising 3 is still locked to... Actually, Dead Rising 3, by the way, that was on the Xbox One, not even the Series X.
So it's already lost.
Yeah, I've already messed that up. So... But like all these games that even were pretty good hits, like the Microsoft Flight Simulator, even if you're not into Sims, right? That's like always held true. Hi-Fi Rush was great. Then they released it on other stuff, and then they closed down Tango Gameworks.
I thought Hi-Fi Rush was on the Xbox One. Was it Series X?
It was Series X.
Okay, I gotcha.
Avowed, and then Starfield, which was the last game that like I would have played right out of the gate. Which I mean, Starfield just came to PlayStation in the last month. So 2 years later, so there you are getting to experience some things sooner rather than later. But and then they, in company with it, they had the whole everything as an Xbox marketing, which they have axed, if you will.
No, I like the X.
But they had a lot of really good PC support, right? Like they kind of did lead the charge with the Xbox Series stuff and all of that time frame. But again, if we're looking at just the console versus like the company decisions to support, that's what Game Pass and the PC support
well,
is,
it's
right?
the ecosystem that goes along with it. So are you saying that if you have an Xbox Series X or S, you can play your game locally, like if you have a disc, and then you could go on your gaming PC and like pick up your save from where you left off?
No, you couldn't do that. I'm
pretty sure you could, couldn't you?
Not with like a backwards compatible situation. But yes, if I like Starfield.
Yeah.
If I did Starfield on my X and then just came in here and did through their Windows gaming or Xbox gaming on my PC, I could just keep playing my same Starfield. So
that's pretty cool.
Actually,
I always thought about getting one because of that, because I was a big Game Pass fan, and I was like, I guess I was looking at the Series S, not the Series X. But, that is a cool like point in its favor.
Yeah. Technically on paper, out of the gate, it is more powerful than the PS5.
That's crazy.
I don't know about the PS5 Pro, but stacking them both up beside each other, it is slightly more.
In theory. In practice, almost every Digital Foundry comparison I've ever seen, they're either neck and neck, or even sometimes Sony will sometimes come out ahead, but I don't know. It's
Interesting.
It's usually close.
Yeah.
Maybe for like Microsoft first party titles, they do a little better. I don't know.
All right. Do we need to? Do we need to?
Is there
say
any
it?
other alibis for anything? Or was it cast your vote?
Yeah, I'm good.
The Halo box didn't have a good Halo, so
Yeah, that's pretty nutty. I'm casting.
it's got to
Wii.
be Wii for me.
All right.
Yeah, Wii gets it for me too. So I think Wii wins in a landslide there.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal. But you did a valiant effort hyping up the Series X.
Not really, but whatever you guys make me. If I'm one of the ones stuck on the next one.
All right. So our next matchup, we've got the Xbox Original versus the Nintendo 64.
Oh
So
man,
I already have the Xbox page pulled up. So unless somebody else wants to fight for the Xbox, I'll
You
at least have our notes up.
You got it.
you
I
got
feel
it, man.
All right. So Xbox Original, 2001. Microsoft's entering the gaming realm, all right? It's so crazy, right? And with this crazy bright green, Mountain Dew's at its peak with the youths. Comes out in November. So that's after the towers fell. So we need some good news, boys. We need something good, right? So it's got that going for it, too, to some degree. And then what does it do? It comes out and it's got a controller that's bigger than all of our grown man hands. If you remember the original Duke, which is actually hilarious.
It was crazy.
It is massive,
But
yeah.
it did set a really strong foothold for what those controllers have become, and I do think their influence with the Duke has influenced where controllers have went to this day to some degree.
Is that
In terms
the name
of
of the
button?
controller?
Yeah.
The Duke?
It was it was huge. The original
It was.
Xbox controllers.
You mean influence in terms of layout or in terms of size?
I think layout. I think the offset sticks and being like a staple.
So when it came out, did it come out before the PS2? Like, did it set the dual stick situation?
No, the PS. So technically, there's on the PS1 they released a dual stick.
Eventually it started not dual stick.
Eventually
right?
it did.
Okay,
Yeah.
not to
So
derail.
just-
Sorry, I was just, if they were the progenitor of
No,
that
so
would
they
be a
don't
big
get that
thing.
credit.
Yeah,
But they did combat with the dual stick and the offset, right? How they're not directly in parallel, right?
yeah.
So
Offset sticks. Okay.
which a lot of people do prefer. So and then what do we get? We get Halo Combat Evolved,
Yep.
and
The console silly.
Yeah.
what
really is.
what else? Do I even need to speak for Halo? And then what do we get later? Halo 2,
Yeah.
which is my favorite Halo, hands
So
down.
good,
and I
man.
Really?
think, yeah,
Wow.
hands down, dude, getting to play as the Arbiter and that whole what? Voiced by, what is it, Keith David, right? Man, that's just crazy. And then obviously we got Steve Downs being Master Chief. That's iconic. We can all hear Master Chief's voice when we look at ourselves in the mirror and need to be picked up and get our shit together, right? Many of hours on both of those playing multiplayer with our buds, LAN style, right? All hooked up, taking everything and hooking them all up through a LAN cabling and multiple TVs in homes. Or there was
That's sick.
Xbox Live, right? So had a lot of that going for it. Did have a DVD player in it as well. So that's just a big thing for any of the games at the time. We'll talk about it with PS2, right?
Yeah, I think that'll be a recurring theme.
Morrowind, so Elder Scrolls 3,
nice.
right? That's the only way that was on console. It was an Xbox exclusive, which is a pretty big get.
That's actually crazy.
The Elder Scrolls have become much bigger since then, but that is a big get. I can't imagine playing that game on console with how terrible some of the antiquated, if you will, some of the systems are, even by those standards without console commands. We got Fable 1, which there went on to be 3 Fables. We're getting a reboot of Fable. Phenomenal series. And then one of the biggest things to touch on is though there were Star Wars games on everything, there were a shit ton of exclusive Star Wars games. Specifically though, the big heavy hitters is this was the only way outside of the on a console to play Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2, which are
Gotcha.
some of the highest accoladed or highest
I didn't
regarded
realize
Star
those were
Wars games
exclusive.
ever.
Yeah, to Xbox.
Yeah, so Battlefronts weren't.
Yeah.
But that was the Jedi Academy games, stuff like that.
Man.
So
KOTOR's a big pull for Xbox. That's awesome.
That's a pretty good resume.
So, she came out swinging.
I'm ready to hear Ryan pitch the N64.
You want me
now.
to take it? I feel like you've got cred with the N64 as well.
I
will-
see. The thing is, I don't have the breadth. For me, it was just mostly Mario 64, some Pokemon games.
Okay, that's fair.
And I have very fond memories. It was my first console that I really played. love the N64, but I don't think I'm qualified to give it like a full, to give it all its flowers.
Okay,
Are you?
That's fair. I'll do my best.
All
Yeah,
right.
I'll take it. So yeah, N64 released in 1996. It's the first iteration of 3D gaming on a home console, or at all, or
Out of
what's
anything we're going to argue and talk about today, actually, no, wait. The PS1 might have beat it to market. So
Okay.
yeah, so
Well, definitely the first iteration for Nintendo, so that's definitely something. Yeah, I mean, it, like Gavin said, there's a ton of crazy good games on this system. The Mario 64 was amazing. Star Fox 64. I'm assuming that was a big hit. I mean, I really like to market and how much it sold. I don't actually really know, but
yeah, I didn't like outline some of the actual launch games necessarily in our listing, but
the start of the Smash Bros series is pretty wild. That's gone on. I mean, it's still going on now. They're still selling battle passes and characters and stuff.
If you want to get technical, right? Something I didn't list, the first, well, not the first, I guess, because we had like the 32X, but had an upgrade path that made games exclusive. So Star Fox 64, Donkey Kong 64, you had to have the expansion pack, which was like a red insert that went into the top of the console. It's essentially a RAM expansion to allow the console to push, its boundaries more, if you will. So just something kind of neat, right?
That's kind of nutty. Can you imagine if we could do that now?
Yeah, like if you could just swap it.
Just go ahead and throw some more RAM in my PlayStation. That'd be awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
I remember, speaking of accessories, I had the little one that plugged the Pokemon into the back. I think I talked about this on the other episode, actually. But you could put your Game Boy Color in it and then play it on the screen. So I like a lot of gadgets on the N64. It's cool.
And then obviously there's the controller.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, yeah. Hey, Nintendo's taking swings at least. I don't know.
They have 3 hands or some shit. I don't get it.
3-pronged, the trident.
Wild. I mean, it was really mostly right. All you needed was the middle. The longer piece.
It really wasn't that bad.
And then
because
the other
really
buttons,
didn't use
really never needed the D-pad. Sometimes you would need that shoulder button, though. That would be weird.
Ooh, that
the
is
left
weird.
shoulder button.
Yeah.
That was probably the weirdest thing to try and get to.
That's the weirdest controller design. All right, other notable, of course, Ocarina of Time. Probably one of the best-selling, best-rated games of all time. We've got the follow-up, Majora's Mask. GoldenEye with the boys. You get your friends together. Somebody picks Odd Job. You're all pissed off. Banjo-Kazooie, I really enjoyed. I don't know how well it did, commercially, but that game ruled.
It's top tier for me. I love Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
So I hate that franchise kind of got put out to pasture. There were 3 games total, and that was that.
I didn't realize there was a third one, actually.
I guess I didn't. I also didn't list Conker's Bad Fur Day, which was like a rare. So the same people who did Banjo-Kazooie made that, and it's an adult game, but kind of cartoony at the same time.
Yeah, that is kind of interesting. Early iterations of adult games like that.
Yeah.
And then I've got Pokemon Stadium written down too. That's obviously a huge. I don't really know if I really enjoyed that game, but I also really liked the Game Shark. I liked that you like the modding, not modding, but like that they. I don't know, like the N64 was really interesting, like the architecture of it and how like the Game Shark like tweaked what was on the cartridges, right, and how the memory was all.
I mean, I
don't know.
It was weird because on the PlayStation version, you did it and you had to like leave the console on, do everything, open the disc, and swap to your game disc.
That's crazy.
So it's kind of the same premise.
Same premise, yeah.
And yeah, like Resident Evil 2, the only way to actually play a legit released copy of Resident Evil 2 with the randomizer mode is on the Nintendo 64. It was like one of the last games.
Interesting.
That mode doesn't exist in any other iteration of that. So, but yeah.
Well, I think that's the summation.
What say we?
That's tough.
This is actually a lot harder now that we've talked through it than I thought. I was pretty much looking at this. I was like, I got to give it to N64, but now
that's
I'm like,
where I was,
man, dude.
Yeah.
I spent so many hours with my friends just LAN partying it up on Halo and
you
stuff.
hyped me up on the Xbox, yeah.
Yeah, dude, I really did. For that to be like their first that's a pretty hard hitting like first out of the gate. It makes it more upsetting to see actually the downfall to have to talk about for the Series X to then now get to think about the original Xbox. It's like, man, that's heartbreaking.
Well, and I feel like that was like more penetration into the market like of home consoles. Like I feel like the original Xbox got people to start buying video game consoles who didn't care about it. Like I don't know that was as true with N64. I don't have any numbers. I'm just talking out of my ass. It just kind of felt like that.
It was in the area of like the taboo getting broken a bit.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't too new. Game systems had been around for a bit. The DVD player part, right? There's some justification in having your DVD player for it. So, I mean, there are arguments to be made that, the N64 is just an N64. But
so tough.
You are never going to find a top 10 games list unless somebody is just cracked out of their mind or born in the last 10 years where Ocarina of Time is not on it.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Specifically.
But also Halo.
And also KOTOR. Oh, I don't know. Morrowind.
And then with the KOTOR piece, we do got to acknowledge like it was on PC.
That's fair.
It wasn't just locked to.
But it wasn't on N64. I'll tell you that much.
It sure wasn't.
I think Halo was actually on PC at the first one, wasn't it?
Was it at launch?
I'm pretty sure.
There may have been something weird with that.
I don't know. I could be wrong about that.
But so where are we at, guys?
All right, who's casting the first vote?
I've got to go. All right, listen. I've also got Nintendo characters tattooed down my arm. I've got to go with the N64, but it's not by as big of a lead as you would maybe think.
I think I went into this feeling like I would pick the N64 for sure, just based on like what it did and just the amount of all-time great franchises. But the more I think about it, if this bracket is like personal experience, then it's got to be the Xbox for me, because that's like what got me really into gaming.
Oh boy, I love that we're giving the tiebreaker to
Ryan's got the tiebreaker. What's it gonna be?
I'm like actually dying inside. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna go N64 if we're going personal. But I guess if we're going personal with the rubric, your experiences of LAN partying and everything fall to the 360 for me in my timeline. So, but man, you hype me up. I love KOTOR and I love, I didn't play that much Morrowind, but that's a good pull. I don't know. That was a tougher matchup than I thought. All right.
I think the next one's easier.
So the next one, I don't know. We'll see. We've got the PlayStation 4 versus the PlayStation 5. Who wants it?
Yeah, it's gonna be easy because the PS5 is awesome, right, guys?
I mean, it is a good console.
I'll take the PS5.
Shall I do PS4 first, and then you do PS5?
That works. Yeah.
All right. So PS4 launched in 2013. God, that sounds like it's forever ago. It does not feel like it was that long ago. And man, this was my first like Sony console. Like as an adult, I remember buying it for Bloodborne. We'll go more into it on like a gaming history episode, but just the amount of like exclusives, I guess.
So you bought it for Bloodborne, so that was about 6 months after it came out, right? It was in the first year.
I didn't get it right after it came out.
Yeah,
I got it later on.
But it did have a dry launch.
But the amount of exclusives, like for me, it was like, oh, like finally getting to play Last of Us, because that was they remade that or remastered it for PS4. Getting to play the Uncharted series, so many amazing games. You got Horizon Zero Dawn later, which like at its time was really, really innovative with rendering and like the way that it was just like a level of fidelity that I feel like we hadn't seen at the time. And there were a lot of other good exclusives too. Days Gone doesn't get enough love.
That's right.
Love that game. I've never really played the Spider-Man games. Can't speak on those. But then the God of War reboot. So I know, was it 2018 was the first one?
Yeah.
A lot of people really love that game. I don't like games about children, so kind of bounced off of it. But, respect. And then as far as like the console itself, Matt has fucking light bar and speaker on the controller. I love both of those things. I love the speaker. I loved it like in The Last of Us when you like pick up an audio log and it would start talking to you. I was like, this is so immersive. Both of these guys hate it.
Ryan's indifferent on the speaker, right? You hate the light bar.
I'm indifferent on the speaker. Speaker's fine. That light bar
the problem is the battery, right? They do all this stuff, and we'll shit on it with the PS5 even more.
Dude, yeah, that's
and
the thing.
Battery
is
life
it worse?
blows.
All right, we'll talk about it in a
much
second.
worse.
I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always thought the lights were kind of cool though.
I
like
like
if
the
you
light.
had,
You
like,
should just be able to turn it off.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Over halfway through its life cycle, they added an option to like set it 3 different settings.
Yeah,
like,
you still can't turn it off though, right?
Actually, I don't know if you can turn it off or not, but you might be able to now.
I put a piece of electrical tape over.
Tell you what else it had, which I don't know if this was the first Sony console or not, but it had some kind of gyro sensor, right?
I actually don't know.
It did.
There were like
they
were some motion controls, and that's what drove me nuts because
that was me about knocking over a pin thing, but they started that with the PS3. Actually, the 6-axis was actually the PS3 launch controller, not the DualShock 3. They had to like recover. But yes, I
hated those because there would be games where you couldn't disable it, like in Dark Souls or something. Like Dark Souls 3, you'd move your controller and your guy would start bowing and I'm like, no, fuck, stop it, stop it, stop it. Yes. Here it comes. Your character's like,
Bloodborne gets me bad with that because it's if you hold X and the different ways you move the controller, do the emotes.
Wow.
And it literally will be like, oh no, an invader. And you'll actually like
start clapping.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Do the hunter rally out.
I must sit stone still when I play video games. I didn't even realize that.
Okay. Yeah. So I think the PS4 is a very strong favorite for me, but I'm curious to hear Ryan's pitch for PS5.
Okay. I'm going to come in. I'm pretty strong on the PS5 here, I believe, but... So let's see. Let me run through the list. When it came out, that DualSense 5, or I guess DualSense, the DualShock 5, whatever it's called, had a lot of really cool features. Came out with the Astrobot, very cool tech demo of the console. I remember vividly playing that, and it was like, this console's amazing. This actually feels like a jump. It was like instead of focusing on graphics, they were trying to do something different, because we're hitting the point of diminishing returns, and they were like, let's start doing some weird gameplay stuff. I actually don't really love... Well, I'll get into it in a second, I guess. But, so let's see. It had, when you're playing Astrobot, you could like shake or tilt the controller one way and you could feel it rattling all the way down.
All the haptics and stuff.
The haptics, yeah, the adaptive triggers, the touchpads on both of them. But I feel like we should probably mention, for the DualShock 4, it was the touchpad, but it's on the 5 too.
Do you guys? I mean, it's like the map button. Like, do you guys ever use it for
I wanted to bring
else?
it up because it annoys me because I had friends telling me how innovative it was when it was the DS4, and I was like, it's not. You can't use it for anything. But
I have used it like as a mouse, like as a mouse in a very like on a PC, like in a very like fallback kind of situation, which I don't have a mouse next to me. Like you can kind of use it as a mouse pad, but very poorly.
Let's see. I'm gonna have to actually hand the flag off to either you or Matt here in a second for a lot of these games we have written down. I loved God of War Ragnarok. It was very good. I think I liked God of War 2018 more. Oh my gosh!
So I guess that's the thing. Like it has a lot of good games and exclusives, but they're all sequels to. And the better game came out on the PS4, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So like now, Ghost of Yotei, I think, is actually going to end up selling better than Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima clears, in my opinion.
Really?
And Ghost of Yotei is very good. It's not a bad game. I just think that clears. I think God of War 2018 clears over Ragnarok.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this before I was a dad, so I don't have that extra thing going on with 2018 specifically.
So you're just anti-woke with the female protagonist is what you're saying. Got it.
Oh, yeah, with Yotei,
yeah,
exactly.
I was trying to remember which female protagonist.
As I would say, Returnal's the better game out of Soros and Returnal. Returnal, though, dude, the haptics the way it uses it, feeling the raindrops, kind of feel like they're hitting your hand, and it
does feel good
on that, cool. And the use of the triggers and stuff. It's got to be the second best because like Astrobot's designed as a showcase for all things the console.
Returnal has to be the best like real life game like that you're actually it's not just a tech demo because that's the thing, there were so many cool features in Astrobot that were never used to my knowledge in other games.
Cool tech demo though. It was fun.
Cool and
I'm glad because there is like a part in Astrobot where you got like blow into the controller or something, and if that was fucking pops up, if I'm playing Resident Evil 11 and they're like blow out the candles,
blow Wesker away.
Like if Requiem would have came out there like you got to blow on the speaker to blow out the candles as grace, like I'd been like motherfucker. I would have flown to Capcom and beat the shit out of somebody with a bag of soap.
Why would you hate it so much?
I'm not I'm not trying to give my fucking controller fellatio when I'm playing the game. Especially when Leon Kennedy's in it. Like, I don't need any more thoughts in that way, all right? That man. No one does.
Well, I talked a big game about the PS5, but I do want to say, like, it feels like the PS5 really put the nail in the coffin of Xbox in this generation, whereas in the previous one, the Xbox One, PS4 feel closer to me.
You know, one thing we didn't touch on in the last
That's
matchup,
a take.
and I'm going to try to make it a point. From an aesthetic perspective, I think the PS5 is one of the ugliest fucking consoles to ever exist. It's like a reverse Oreo.
It is
and
really
like
ugly.
it is just so
I have
ugly.
to agree with you. And like, do you guys ever put it sideways?
Yeah.
And like getting it on that stand is
Oh,
such
it's
bullshit.
terrible. But
It's
if
like
you're supposed to, because it like is gonna melt its CPU or whatever.
Yeah,
It
right.
has the gallium liquid based metal that sits over the CPU, and that can just like seep out, and it's
But
metal.
it's so big and unwieldy horizontal, I still won't do it.
And it
I'm
looks
taking
weird
the risk.
horizontal because the disk drive's actually on like the bottom left instead of like on the top left or right, like
Right.
most everything always has been. It's just what the fuck.
it's like they try to make it look like some gaming rig.
And like
kind of.
the PS4 looked fine.
Yeah.
You know, it was just kind of had the sharp edges,
Yeah.
had that weird angularity, and then the Pro was funny because they just added like a third layer. I was like,
Yeah.
are we just making a big cake? I don't know.
PS4 was pretty slick looking,
Yeah.
actually. I kind of like it.
And
All right,
did we do with PS5 get the Dual Shock or Sense Edge, which is, you know, it's a high end controller, but it is cool to see those types of controllers getting made for consoles. And then, you know, the Xbox One, I think, is when the original Elite controller was released for them, so they were kind of neck and neck with that. So it was just cool to start seeing like the higher end modular controllers show up with stuff.
cool.
So where are we at? I mean,
Well, I'm
PS4.
we swapped mid conversation to shitting on the PS5 and not hyping it up.
Oops. That should tell you enough.
I think that
I've
probably-
played hundreds of hours of PS5. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's not a bad console, but
Yeah.
Me too. It's my daily driver. I love it, but it just doesn't feel, other than the haptics, which are amazing, but this isn't a controller bracket.
right.
Other than the haptics, it just doesn't feel like generationally, like it's really carved out its niche. I can't think of any games that I've played on PS5, or almost any, that are just like, wow, that's really a next-gen
That's
experience.
actually a good point. There's not a single PS5 game that's an exclusive that would be in my top 10.
Yeah.
Because, like, even if Requiem's not in my top 10, but even if it was, it released on
Not
everything.
exclusive.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other way around, though, with PS4. In fact, one of my top 3 is
Yep.
a PS4 game, right? So,
That's fair. I'm sold. I think the PS4 takes
PS4's
it very
PS4's
hand
got
away.
it. Yep.
I honestly thought it was going to be closer, but yeah, I don't know.
thought fucking wrong, didn't you?
I'm a PC guy. I don't know anything.
Dude,
Don't
they
listen
always
to me.
cook with the even generation, so PS6
Six
is
is
gonna
about to
it's
be
gonna go
it.
so hard.
All right. So the next one up is a pretty big one. We've got the NES versus the Xbox 360.
Who's taking what?
I can't do
don't
NES.
Want NES.
I knew the answer when I asked. I'm just gotta ask.
I could talk at length about the 360, but I feel like you could too. So if you want it, I feel like I've taken
we
more
can
than
we
you.
can all jerk off the 360
I was gonna
together.
say, I'll
It's
take
fine.
the NES.
Yeah, then we'll all get
Try to-
after
so, and then we'll all bow down to the 360. All right. So 1985, right? Still predating us as far as consoles. So to have one, it wouldn't. I only had one because it was a very specific situation, right? My grandmother got one when my mom moved out, and like that kind of kept her company. And so when I was born, she immediately wanted to like share that with me, and that's like where Matt's gaming
nice.
starts, right? So like the NES holds a very specific. It's the console I own the most of.
Interesting.
I own a lot of multiples of consoles. 4 if you count the one I tore down, PS5s, but I own like 7 NESs.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, yard sold for years. So, anyways, Super Mario Bros. 1 through 3 on this thing. Duck Hunt. The beginning and the way it is where the Legend of Zelda started. We can't say it's where Mario started because Mario was Jumpman, the enemy, and Donkey Kong, and then there was actually a Super Mario or a Mario game on the Atari, which is just them rebranding that or whatever. It's one of those like you're climbing up the ladders and stuff to get to the top to to save the princess from Donkey Kong. Or something like that.
Yeah.
It was an arcade game, and then
right.
The Mega Man series started and had like a 6-game run on the original NES. I think that was the last one.
I didn't realize that.
Final Fantasy started there, Metroid started there, and Castlevania started there.
Ooh.
So that's the thing. Like, we got the Founding Father, we kind of nixed with the Atari. This fucking thing set some groundwork that like will never be replicated.
Which Castlevania game was it?
Like literally the first.
Oh, just the first one.
Castlevania 1, 2, and I think 3, and then I think they essentially did a remake for the first one that was on the Super Nintendo. But yeah, so obviously Metroid and Castlevania. There was 2 Metroids, I think 2 or 3 Castlevanias. We still have a genre. I mean, Silk Song's just popped off, and that's the first description anyone gives is like a harder Metroidvania, right?
Yeah, Metroidvania.
That's fair.
It popped off so bad that it crashed PSN, Xbox, Nintendo, and Steam. Like when it sold, right? All because of stuff that ties back to this console and the games. And there was no competition, so they were just released for just this, right?
You're making a strong case for
this
this
is a
console,
big case,
man. Yeah.
This is more than I thought.
The Final Fantasies, right? I mean, the JRPG greatness. I didn't put Dragon Warrior, which became Dragon Quest.
Oh, yeah.
They just changed the name because stuff was weird, right? From Japan to the US, they thought certain names would hit better over here than they did.
Yeah.
The Mega Man's, he's
6 games is great.
There's a new Mega Man coming out soon. Mega Man 12 they've announced it. So it's just all of these franchises, with the exception of Duck Hunt, are still going. And I mean, he technically could put Duck Hunt Dog in Smash, right? And we still get our 2D Marios because of this. We couldn't have a 3D Mario until Mario 64. Yeah. So that's where all of the stuff starts with. Like, there's Metroid, and then Metroid Prime is the first person 3D games. There's Mario and Mario Worlds, but then there's like Mario 64, and there's Mario Odyssey and Sunshine, and those are the 3D games. And they almost exist. They started like that weird different timeline shit. So like, it's the same Samus in Metroid and Metroid 2. But it's a different adventure altogether. You don't need to have played Metroid 1 and 2 to play Metroid Prime Echoes, Metroid Prime Corruption, and that weird thing. And my point with all of this is being like, we still get those versions of those games that technically started. So we got Mario Wonder, a year ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah. 3
or 4 years ago, we got Metroid Dread. The Final Fantasies have just evolved holistically. The Mega Mans had Mega Man Legends 1 and 2 on the PS1, which were the 3D games and not the side-scroller games. Castlevanias, we had Lords of Shadows and all the PS2 games.
So are you saying there are like universe splits between the 2D and 3D versions, or what is it?
They're just...
When you say just the fact that the series are continuing?
The series are continuing and in the same vein.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's crazy when you start listing out all those series. It's
from the foundational part, like, it is pretty bananas.
Yeah.
And this is like probably the hardest matchup we're gonna have too.
That's a hell of a resume. Duck Hunt rules. I'm gonna throw that out.
I knew Duck Hunt.
Yes.
That'd be kind of fucking sick.
With the actual gun and everything.
Dude,
man, that was innovative.
Let me at him. Let me kill that.
Let me at him.
All right, boys.
All right, Gavin, you
shit.
lead us out, and we'll just all jump in.
Oh man, I mean, it's the 360, man. It was the console to have the peak of Xbox Live, of couch co-op, all the shooters. So in no particular order, Halo 3 and up. So Halo 3, Halo 4. Wait, Halo 4? No, maybe did it?
There was 4, but then there was also
might have been on the 1.
ODST.
And those were on 360?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Guardians, I think, split the generation. I think it made 5 Guardians. I think it came to both. But regardless, I mean, a lot of people like ODST specifically, right? Is that the one that the thing happens at the end?
No, you're thinking of Reach.
It is. That's Reach.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Reach.
You
Yeah.
can spoil it. Cool. It's been long enough.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like,
it's like the Rogue One of Halo. It's so good. It's like the prequel that everybody sleeps on. Okay, then Gears of War 1 through 3. Man, those games were awesome. They took just like gore and cover shooting and all that kind of stuff to a new level, like that we hadn't really experienced.
Well, you got like the bro macho stuff, and you think you kind of expect it to be what it is, and then it also has like debatably through those first 3 games, like 2 of the biggest like emotional damaging things
That's
ever
true.
that happens.
There's some heavy story in those games.
So, like, I specifically think what happens in 2 is more heart-wrenching than what happens in 3.
Yeah, that's fair. I could see that.
I don't have any experience.
So I guess
with
here's
You
the
ever
part I
played
say
the Gears
light
games?
I played them a
spoilers.
little bit. Like I'd play the first level at a friend's house.
I'll
That's
say
all.
light
yeah?
spoilers because they might be remaking them or whatever.
oh.
But so like Dom
Yeah.
is looking for his wife beginning in the first game, right?
Yep.
You find her in the second game and she's like just torn to shreds and like not literally, she's like been starved and like she's so out of it that like he mercy kills his own wife.
Dang.
In the game. And when he opens the thing and finds her, what fucks with you so bad is she looks like what she's supposed to look like and she falls into his arms. And then like Marcus is like Dom because he's like thinks he's hugging his wife and he pulls back and she's just like, you know, like anorexic looking, like very skin and bones and sickly and like clearly dying. And he like snaps out of it not seeing her and he mercy kills her. And then fast forward to 3, Dom sacrifices himself to save Marcus and like I think Cole and Barrett and like pretty much everybody. He drives like a truck with like a nuke essentially into like Locust territory and blows some shit up and kills
That's
himself.
pretty wild. Yeah.
And dude, it's like
Rip Dom.
Whew.
Yeah, I forgot how. I mean, the campaigns were so good in those games.
Yeah, the gameplay, the active reload, man.
Oh yeah,
like every
yeah.
game that has
keeping
a
you
gun,
engaged.
needs
They
active
owe it to
reload.
Gears. Dude, and I also loved the multiplayer.
I do too,
Dude,
yeah.
the online, like, the PvP was awesome.
You talking Gears 3? Was the Gears 2
all
had
of them.
multiplayer too? I
They were
didn't get
all-
into it until 3. Gotcha.
chainsawing people was
Yeah.
just like the ultimate.
Ooh, had Horde mode. That was a big
Dude, Horde was
Wasn't that
awesome,
the introduction
yes.
almost of like Horde modes? Like it was the OG.
I'm trying to feel like World at War with Nazi zombies might have been
That's fair. Yeah,
first
that's
in
similar,
terms of
yeah.
horde modes, but
Yeah.
But also on the Xbox 360's resume, we've got, and it's not, let's say it's not exclusive to 360, but Modern Warfare 1 and 2. I don't know if you guys were COD people.
I was
for Modern Warfare 2.
I was
Oh, yeah.
at Black Ops.
Okay,
Black
well,
Ops
had Black
4
Ops
I
as
was.
well.
And
Yeah.
Black Ops 2 was the one that like I put some time into. It's also worth
Gotcha.
noting that we all fall. I mean, right? I'm the oldest. I'm a few weeks away from 34.
Yeah.
We're all in our 30s. This shit hit right when we were.
Oh yeah.
I mean, getting our pubes like, and we were all about it.
Yeah. There's no game. There's no game that like quantifies like Mountain Dew overnight playing games more for me personally than Modern Warfare 2.
hell
It's like
yeah.
the OG for me.
What prestige did you get to?
I think like I was high, dude. I think like no, I didn't max prestige. I was definitely several in though, like 4 or 5. I feel like. What about you?
Oh, I got in one of those lobbies and it put me right. I'm like,
at the top.
yeah, but
I remember trying to get in those. I remember
Where are they? Damn it.
sketchy websites and like DMing people on Xbox 360.
Dude,
like, please
yeah.
let me in.
one of my buddies like PayPal'd somebody and was like, join me. Like, yep, next thing I know.
That's crazy.
Those were the days though, man. Modern Warfare 2 online was awesome. Search and destroy.
Oh yeah,
Ugh,
man.
that was maybe the peak of COD for me. Other games, we've got Forza, which I've not played. I've never been a racing guy, but
I'm
this
not
is the
either.
first Forza game.
Yeah, I think. I don't know if it was Forza 2 or not, but Forza just kind of took off more. I think Horizon was introduced to, which is the more open world ones.
Yeah, it's more like arcade,
And, like,
right?
Not
or,
really
like,
our thing, but very popular games. I mean,
Yeah.
Forza 5, when it came to PS5, was one of like the top selling games on the PS5, oddly enough. So, a lot going on there. I think I listed Alan Wake, but I just had to for me, right?
Was that
Which-
exclusive? Okay, I didn't
Really?
realize that.
No, it came. I don't know if it launched at PC, but it did come to PC later. And then when they did those remasters, like a couple years ago, that was the first time it was on Sony console for sure.
I didn't know that at all. I thought it was on everything.
Yeah, well, then they did that Quantum Break, which was like an exclusive for Xbox as well, which is why, again, we'll get into that at some point on an episode, the whole Remedy Universe thing, and I'll go fucking bananas on you guys with that. But I digress for now.
But you got Dead Rising as well. That game was a ton of fun. I did play.
Yeah.
I did play the first one. That was great.
I
That
love
first
those.
one was sick. Oh, my
man.
gosh, it like blew my mind.
The
It was
remake
so
they did is
cool.
really good too, because it's pretty much one.
Yeah, I
for
almost
one.
picked that up. That was cool that they did that.
And we've got Fable 2 and 3. I have played 3. I have not played 2. 3 was a lot of fun.
Yeah, if you like 3, you're definitely gonna like 2. 1 would maybe be hard to go back. 1 is the best in my opinion, but
Gotcha.
And it had a Fable Anniversary, which was essentially we still had remakes happening even back then, and that's essentially what Fable Anniversary is. More of a remaster, I guess. I think they added a little bit of stuff, but
we do have to mention the one stain on an otherwise flawless resume is the Kinect. But at least it didn't ship with it, right? It was an optional accessory later on.
I'll match you. I didn't mention, though he's cute and adorable, Rob the robot was kind of a stain on the NES to some degree because it didn't work the way it was supposed to, just to match.
I didn't realize that was the NES. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's where he's from. He was just an accessory that you set by the NES, and he could pull the games. He just took the games off and put the games in the console for you. Is all it was made to do. It wasn't.
That's hilarious.
Did it work? Huh? Did it work?
Not really. No.
How cute though.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's adorable, but it's at the time people are buying it what the fuck is this shitty fucking robot?
Yeah, the Kinect, at least it was optional, and it was felt separate. I'm sure there was a lot of people who had fun with the Kinect, but
I
don't know.
I don't have a lot of memories of my late sister playing games, but she loved playing the dance game. So I've played hours of Dance Central with her just because that's what she wanted to do, and so we did it. So
nice.
There's that. That's not my style of thing at all.
Did you need a pad or something, or just?
No, just kind of
you just captured all your motion and figured out what you're doing.
I feel I remember my brother being really into Fruit Ninja or something on there. I think you could karate chop maybe. I don't know. Could be wrong on that.
I think it was just some of the always on and I don't know. There were some controversies with it. I feel like.
Yeah. Oh yeah, probably. I mean, it went on to continue, and then the new iteration to be used up until recently as a really entry level. Facial recognition and in the bio research world, if you will, because the camera and the power that it had behind it was so good for the cost.
Right.
That's the whole thing. You could probably look up straight up Google Scholar papers and research and find a shit ton of stuff about the Kinect being used in ways you would never expect.
I guess it was just a misunderstood device then. I mean, I don't know.
So
okay, well, how are we feeling, guys?
So it's hard because I'm an NES guy. I'm gonna go that way for me, right?
Wow.
But the online stuff can't really be understated, even though now it's all fucking cost to keep going up and everything's tied to the shit. And then also the Xbox 360, man, I still think the Xbox 360 controller might be my all-time favorite controller.
Yeah, that contrler's so fantastic.
Set the standard.
Out of the box with a console, not adding any of the fancy ones in, right? It's a good
It is a great controller.
I love that controller.
And it did hit at a time of just where I didn't have the worries that I had with every other console after this, where I'm I'm paying my own bills all the time. I was a kid, and it was the console when I was peak teenager, I guess. Right, and though I didn't have one for a long time, but the buddy that I lived with and the other friends that I was close with, they had them. So I always had access to one, which was awesome. So
that does remind me, we didn't mention the red rings.
Oh,
you guys get that?
I had the red rings.
I didn't. My first one that I had was a Slim, so that was a long gone. But my one buddy that got one at launch, 2 weeks in, he got it. So
no, mine just waited until it was nice and out of warranty. It's 3 years in or something.
Wrap it in a towel or whatever.
I did try some of those TikTok level home remedies. None of them worked. I don't know. Did it work for you?
The towel brought mine back for 2 days. Yeah,
it was essentially the weak joint thing. It would overheat in the thing with pop, the not the weld, the solder. And then wrapping it in the towel would make it overheat and kind of melt it back together kind of situation is what it was.
That's crazy.
That's absolutely wild. So, okay, Ryan, where are you going on this one?
I think I'm going to have to go 360. Matt's made a crazy good case for the NES. But yeah, in my heart, it's 360.
No pressure, Gavin.
I've got to agree. I think I'm not enough of a scholar and a connoisseur to really fully appreciate what the NES did. I mean, because I don't have a super strong personal relationship with all of these games, but I can recognize the game.
It's fine. You both can get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah, well,
there is. I mean, there is also something to be said about even with its pedigree. Maybe you guys have touched a Mario and maybe a Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild as far as the franchises that are still going. Like, right, you guys aren't as invested in all of these franchises as I am, even, right?
I've touched several of them. I actually loved the Mega Man series.
Oh, really?
On the Game Boy Advances, like
the Battle Network ones and
Mega
stuff?
Man Zeros.
Oh, yeah.
And I like the Battle Networks, too. I was a big Mega Man fan. But
Crazy amount of Mega Man games.
Okay, well, the next one is some more OGs going head-to-head. We've got the Sega Genesis, who we originally, I don't know how ended up on the honorary mention list, but
We hyped it up.
we've got the Genesis versus the SNES, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
So, yeah, Super Nintendo, 91. Still predates all of us, like kind of one of the last consoles we're going to talk about that does. And then it's just where everything for the NES happened, but better. So we got 16 bits, so we had more pixels we could get on the screens because we had the better processor, we had better music chips. We were able to have stuff where, like, we had Super Mario All-Stars come out, had Super Mario World, and full remakes in 16-bit style of Mario's 1 through 3. So that's why, actually, a while back, Ryan, you saw me playing Super Mario 1, and you're like, that doesn't look like the Super Mario 1 or 3. That's what it's 3 that I played, and It's because of that. We had Chrono Trigger, which is still highly regarded as, like, one of the greatest JRPGs of all time, usually like top 1 or 2 on any list.
People put it in like the top video games of all time.
Yeah.
I have you played it?
Oh yeah, yeah, dude.
Is it as good as people say?
Phenomenal. It's shocking that hasn't been remade, and I think it's because they are so afraid, like truly afraid to touch that and fuck it up. Like, what do you pick for your art style today versus what it was then? What do you have to change, if anything? Like, all of those things. Like, I really think there's like wheels spinning on that to some degree at Square Enix. The Donkey Kong, we had Donkey Kong Countries 1 and 2. Star Fox started there. So a lot of good stuff. Street Fighter, that's where Street Fighter started, and that's still going strong for the fighting game fans. It's still probably the best version of Street Fighter, though, exists on that console, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's that. And when we kind of hyped up the Genesis as well, started started Sonic, was the more adult console, if you will. It just allowed blood in the M-rated games.
That's fair. I guess we already did kind of like go through the Genesises, give it its flowers. So I guess we can just go straight to voting. Honestly, I am personally SNES. I think. I have more. I guess I have about the same amount of experience with both of them. The SNES was, I don't know. I really enjoyed the games it had, and it felt very like, I don't know. It just feels good to me. I like it a lot. What about? Let's see. Where you at, Gavin?
Yeah, I'll have to go with the SNES as well. Just in terms of franchise exposure, I've never owned an SNES. I did, like, when my parents had an NES. So I've played a lot of the same games, but not in the 16-bit glory.
So you really don't know.
They still got it?
I really don't know.
I'm just kidding.
I am completely talking out of my ass on all of
Do they
this.
still have the NES?
Can
I have it?
You trying to get number 8?
Probably went in a yard sale somewhere, dude. I don't know. But you?
Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo is high on my list of consoles of all time. So.
Really? Nice. All right, we got a blowout. That's easy. Okay, cool. Well, we'll keep it rolling then. We'll pop into the next matchup. We've got the Nintendo Switch versus the PlayStation 1.
Okay.
Who wants it? Who wants what?
Oh, man.
All right, give me PS1.
Okay. Yeah, I can't
You're
do
the
PS1.
guy for that.
Yeah, so 94, baby, 3D games at home.
First 3D games? Yeah, you said that
disc,
earlier.
Yeah, on disc. So introduced compact discs to the gaming space, as far as in this, without getting into semantics, if you will. So I didn't have the DualShock or double analog stick thing going on at launch, but later did introduce it. So we got, the DualShock 1, which then has carried Sony through and is a notoriously, it's a controller we all recognize. Realistically, still looks the same. The DualShock 4 was the biggest departure until the DualSense for the 5, right? Set up the double sticks. And
when
everything.
you say didn't have the double sticks, what are you talking about? What was the
Picture
original?
a DualShock,
Yeah.
and then there's just a void of nothing.
There's just
There was
one,
no
there's just
no
one
sticks.
stick.
It had
there's
a D-pad on the left and buttons on the right, like the triangle X.
Which is why shit like Resident Evil that's where tank controls came from. You didn't have the joystick for movement, so you had to left, right, and down were how you turned your characters, and then you always pressed up to move forward. So you had to turn your character this way and push forward to move forward.
So you were using face buttons for, let's see, which stick is which?
Both.
For looking.
Both.
For the you're using the face buttons for camera, but then like D-pad for movement.
Yeah, you didn't
That's
have control of the
crazy.
camera. The camera
No, it
was
was
just like, look, if we were watching us in this room from a camera in the corner of the room.
Oh,
Yeah,
all the
it
cameras
was
were fixed.
camera
Yeah.
and everything was the D-pad because you moved forward and back with the up and down, and you turned left and right with left and right, and then you would aim by like pulling the trigger right, and that puts you in like aiming mode
On some stuff,
I'm thinking
You're thinking of Metal Gear is what you're thinking.
How
of,
did
right?
you know what you were aiming at if like the camera wasn't relative
There was like
to you?
lock-on stuff.
or like the
okay.
red light in Resident Evil, like the little the laser. Like it wasn't that.
That wasn't in the
Oh, that
PS1
wasn't in the
ones.
originals?
That was in
Okay.
that was introduced in 4, which
Okay.
was PS2. Well,
I never
GameCube.
played the original. Right, that just made sense to me with the take
yeah.
controls. I thought
Gotcha,
it was
yeah. So got the first 3 Resident Evils. Then there was Resident Evil. The introduction of Crash Bandicoot started there, which Naughty Dog's still going strong with what they're making today. The Spyro franchise, Final Fantasy 7 through 9. Final Fantasy 8 is my favorite Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy 7 is 95% of the people our age's favorite game ever, borderline, it seems. But and then we got Metal Gear Solid, which we can... We you know what, catch our backlog episode where we talk about Metal Gear Solid
Yeah.
if you want some opinions on that and where we're at with that. And then it did have a CD player, which is kind of cool.
That is cool.
So at the time, so PS1 really kicked off a lot of stuff, and obviously kicked off Sony going strong. So
Did you have a Nintendo Switch, Gavin?
I still do,
You
yeah.
still do? Okay.
It hasn't seen the light of day ever since I got my Steam Deck, but
Yeah.
I have it in a drawer somewhere.
So
I could take the Nintendo Switch. It'd be good. Yeah, I have about the same experience with you. It's like I had it. I played. I didn't play a ton on it. I wanted it to be my portable console, and it was good. But then the Steam Deck and the newer stuff blew it out of the water. But we've got the first. I remember 2017 when it came out. That commercial with all the dudes on all the friends on the roof, and they're playing.
click,
Yep,
click.
yep.
Man, they really do their commercials good for their consoles.
Good commercials.
They do.
Good
Yeah,
marketing.
good marketing.
I mean, it's really apparent with the Wii one too. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't play a ton of Mario Odyssey, but that was a huge one. One of the best Marios, a lot of people would say. Breath of the Wild was like crazy, like well received, critically acclaimed. Not my favorite game. I didn't make it all the way through it.
I didn't either. I put that game down, didn't like it. I forced myself to speed through the story before Tears of the Kingdom came out, just so I could be part of the zeitgeist. And I don't even think I was like that close to
Love
you guys at all when that came out. So it's not like I had anyone to talk to. I had my brother-in-law. He played it.
You gotta
Especially
scroll
able
Reddit
to,
and look at threads.
But
about
I beat like Breath of the Wild like less than 40 hours into it, and then I put like 250 into Tears of the Kingdom because I just liked the new mechanics better.
Yeah, the
even
build,
though the world's the same.
The
pretty
machine mechanics were cool.
Yeah.
I forgot that that was one of those rare things we all had in common was that none of us cared for Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Not part of the cult.
Right.
It's kind of weird
That
because
is
it's
kinda
like
weird to
so
get
critically
3.
acclaimed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I can respect what they were doing with it. It just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Other than that, we got Mario Kart 8, which was technically a Wii U game, but got a second Breath of the Life on the Switch, and is probably regarded as the best Mario Kart game. Well, I don't know. Double Dash.
Not my. Yep, I'm in the same boat with you, but like sales and like overall, it probably is.
Probably is.
Yeah.
It had the Pro Controller, which was like well regarded as almost the best like third party controller for PC gaming or like all sorts of.
Really?
You could use it for all sorts of things, and I guess
Because it is Nintendo first party. That's when you said third party. It threw me off, but it makes sense for PC.
I'm
And then
pretty sure it worked on PC, and people
battery
loved it.
life's bananas on that thing.
Yeah.
Everyone should take note on everything. Put that kind of battery life in the Hitachi magic wand, if you know what I'm saying, and like it would probably like make a difference.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
And then one of the big notes on the Switch. Sorry, I know you're kind of covering it. I guess
Taking my spot.
but-
No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
is so the PlayStation 2 is still the number one best-selling console of all time at like 160 million units and some change. The Switch, as of like a week ago, is at like 159.4. Say all that to say, the Switch is still being produced even alongside the Switch 2.
Yeah.
So
It'll overtake it.
They're going to do obviously some kind of crazy big sale when they are going to finally take them out of circulation / manufacturing. So it's going to end up the top selling console of all time.
Yeah.
Now they aren't. Now this is the first time in a while that Nintendo's not running we have a handheld and we have the home console, right? When you had the Wii and the Wii U, you had the DSs and all
That's
of
true.
the
Yeah.
iterations.
That's a good point.
The Switch, they just have.
So it's kind of consuming those additional sales.
Yeah, they just have the Switch, which is more portable than it is a home console at the end of the day. And then they even released the version that didn't have the dock, the Switch Lite, right? That was a little bit more sturdy, / rugged, if you will. So
a little smaller too, better form factor. I really like the size of the Switch Lite. I really.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wish I could have played. It always annoys me that I couldn't play. Like I already owned games on Steam, and I didn't want to rebuy them at full price. Nothing goes on sale on the Switch ever. But.
Yeah. Cool.
So you can get those Nintendo exclusives only on there, though, right?
I do know where I'm at though with this.
Okay.
So
Are you not wanting to put your finger on the scale? You want us to say ours first?
I'll gladly go first if you guys would like me to.
I know what I'm.
You can
I know
save
what I'm
me
picking.
for last. Though.
Okay,
Actually,
hold
I don't know
on.
if
Let
we'd save
me
for
lock
last, that way.
in. I'm locked in. All right, you go
Take
ahead.
it off, Ryan.
I'm
last
going
this
Nintendo Switch.
All right.
Yeah, I like the Switch a lot. I think it was really innovative. I think it was. I don't know. I thought that was a pretty big swing to make a handheld and a home console change the game. Probably the progenitor of the Steam Deck and the Ally.
I get it, and it was a big swing to stick with that thought after the Wii U ended up being like their worst selling console.
I feel like
That's a good point.
I don't feel like we would have our PC handhelds without it because nobody knew that everybody
you wouldn't
wanted
have
that.
your PC handhelds without the Wii U.
Yeah.
You got to go back and give it the credit.
I don't
there.
think that counts because you were locked to the console. That's like an accessory, but I'll hand it off.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree. The hybrid console concept was just so unique, and I can't think of games that I played on the Switch where I was really like, wow, this was like a very like unique Switch-based experience. But it was just the ability to be able to dock it and to be able to run around with it, to throw it in a backpack, to be able to play it on a break or whatever. Like, I don't know. As someone who didn't own a lot of handhelds growing up, that was a lot of fun. So I'm gonna have to give it to the Switch.
I'm PS1.
I figured.
Yeah. I mean, I was born by this point, but I didn't have one for a while. I remember seeing like an uncle playing the PS1 and just being like, oh, I need it. And we'll get into the gaming history on some funny things on why I love the PS1 so much, aside from my favorite game ever, right, being on that console. Technically, the Hyperkin Super Boys existed before the Switch, and that's a hybrid console because it can connect to the TV and or be the handheld Super Nintendo.
Wow.
So,
Okay. Thanks, Matt.
I just saying, guys.
No one else had the market influence like the Switch. Also, and I will say, not to drag the PS1 through the mud too much, but I never owned one, but I did play a lot of PS1 games because the PS2 had backwards compatibility. And I feel like it was just that era of when we were like really trying to force 3D, but the fidelity wasn't there yet. Like you're saying, the camera controls were jank.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't. It's
it
hard
was a
for me
turning
to,
point that was required in the history of all of this.
Yeah.
But with how much you love Resident Evil, like 1 and 2, I guess you don't really have a choice but to
True.
Well, to love
some
that
degree.
console.
They've gotten remakes that are
Stockholm syndrome
or faithful, but and I will say, like, I think the N64 and the PS1 are the hardest to go back and play today, especially if they weren't ingrained into like your childhood experience.
Yeah,
That's true.
So.
Cool. All
right, cool. Well, moving on to the next one, we've got some more PlayStations up at bat. We've got the PlayStation 3 versus the PlayStation 2.
All right. Who wants to take what? I didn't own a PS3.
I didn't either.
Did own a PS2.
I really,
but Matt might still be the guy.
I don't feel like I'm the guy for this console matchup.
The problem is, I have 3 PS3s and several PS2s. My problem is the PS2 is, oh man, it's probably my number one console of all time, and like I'm trying to finish the complete North American set of
you're collecting the whole set?
1,900 games for the PS2, right? As I'm biased as hell with it. So 2002, just a fun note, it was going against the Xbox. It did come out beforehand, but it actually came out before the Tower, so the PS2 actually was around when the Twin Towers
you
was
have
still
to
standing.
ground every console we talk about.
I mentioned it on the GameCube as well to make the playing field even for the 3. So the DualShock 2, baby. that's the peak of the DualShocks, in my opinion. Like that is still wired, but who gives a shit when it's like a perfect controller. It is up there.
I don't really
it is like number 2. Like I said, I would put the 360 controller above it as far as the controllers that came with consoles. But
it had the like rounded thumbsticks though,
yeah,
right?
That's my problem.
Which I thought were fine as a kid because I didn't know differently, but they're awful. What are you talking about? Don't your fingers slide off of those? Like,
no, I got really dry.
Not me. I'm greased up.
You're just a wet man.
I need some concave.
You look like Slippy from that Star Fox commercial.
Oh,
just damp all the time, this dude. It introduces God of War, had Final Fantasies 10 through 12. It did have online, but it was a little less relevant than the Xbox. You had to have an attachment. There were only certain games to do it, like Resident Evil Outbreak 1 and 2. Final Fantasy 11 is actually an MMO, a very successful MMO that still has some servers going to this day as a whole thing, right? Had the big hitters, though, are like with the evolution of what GTA has became with 3 Vice City, San Andreas, and then kind of continued from there, right? Tons of horror game, which horror is my favorite franchise, which is kind of where my love for it comes from. Metal Gear Solid 3.
Wait,
2 technically.
Horror games. Was this Silent Hill? Or was
Silent
that
Hill,
PS1?
Yeah, Silent Hill 1 technically is PS1, but Silent Hill 2 and 3 and 4 and Shattered Memories, which is above your head there, and some other stuff, obscure Rule of Rose, Kuon, all of these things. A lot of Resident Evil love happened there. We can't give the PS2 credit for Resident Evil 4 though. So, Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3. Obviously, and then it was backwards compatible with the PS1, also 2000. So beating the Xbox to market, it definitely was like, again, for the cost, a DVD player, because DVDs were just kind of hitting the market too, right? So like you pay $50 more, you get a game console and a DVD player for the house, right?
That is nuts that this was before the Xbox, because like you start listing the game lineup, and I'm like, it's hands down, it's better. But everybody had the Xbox, at least everybody that I knew. I don't know.
Oh, no, it was the other way for me.
It was the other way?
I feel like, I was like the only person I knew who had the Xbox. Everybody else I knew had the PS2, I feel like.
Oh,
I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, that's the main thing. You looked confused on the Resident Evil thing.
Yeah.
So it was actually an exclusive. Shinji Mikami, the creator of Resident Evil and everything, came out on stage and said, "This game will never come to anything else." When they revealed Resident Evil 4, and it was like a 2-year exclusive for the GameCube, and then all of a sudden they were like, I don't know if Capcom just bought Nintendo out of whatever the contract was or what happened, and then now Resident Evil 4 Vanilla or Original is notoriously on like everything.
Yeah, it's been released on like everything, but I thought PS2 was like it. Like I thought that's where you would play Resident Evil 4, the original. That's wild.
So, and then the PS3. So we could talk about the cell architecture stuff that makes apparently it super hard to port games and run games. The weird thing about it is its first version only had a 60 gig hard drive, but that version specifically has 4 USB ports on the back or on the front of it. Is backwards compatible with PS2 and 1. Every other version of the PS3, which there are 2 full remakes and then several like hard drive size differences, can only backwards compatible PS1 and not PS2, and then obviously plays PS3 games. I've not really dug into that for any specific reason, but it's super crazy.
That's really weird. Yeah.
Given the gigantic library too that the PS2 had, right?
You're saying there's only one version of the PS3 that can play PS2 games?
Yes.
The others
but
are
all
just
versions
like...
of the PS3 can play PS1 games.
Wow. That's really weird. Yeah.
Okay.
So, started out, didn't have DualShock 3, had 6-axis. It even launched with games where you had to like layer. It was like a dragon riding game, like fighting game, looked super cool, and then you had to like motion control the dragon, and it was absolutely ass butt. It was also a very light controller. It's like comically light, and then they later stopped trying to lean into that and just brought out a DualShock 3, which is essentially just the PS2 controller, and they took the cord off of it and made it battery operated. So, it was expensive as shit at launch when it was revealed. $600. They even had the fucking hubris to get on stage and say if people want this console, they'll get a second job.
Oh, that's what they said?
Yeah,
Wow.
they straight up said that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I remember the 600 was like, that was crazy. Everybody was always making the argument about the free online, though, versus,
And the Blu-ray player, I'm just
and
saying.
the Blu-ray,
like, that you couldn't buy a Blu-ray player for that price.
No,
Certainly
very
not one
true.
that played games in 2006.
Yeah. The architecture was difficult to work for, but it is where some baller franchises started for Sony, which is the Uncharted. The Last of Us actually came out there. The Infamous games. There are several other Little Big Planet if you're into the, the platformer type.
Yeah.
And then we did have Demon's Souls, right? Which
Yeah.
at least set up a good partnership with Sony for like an exclusive perspective, even though FromSoft had kind of worked with them before. So it kind of leads at least a little bit to what ended up becoming Bloodborne. So you got to kind of give the credit there, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
So the Dark Souls obviously were across the board on everything,
But wouldn't exist without the success of Demon's Souls.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the only reason I think Dark Souls isn't Demon Souls 2 to some degree, like I really do think it's just because like the whole Sony has the exclusive rights and like owns that IP. I don't know if I don't know if they would have just done whatever and made Dark Souls be Demon Souls 2 if they owned the IP from software.
That is an interesting question that maybe we should dive into on another episode. I don't want to derail us, but Demon Souls has the like video gamey kind of level based. It's almost like Mario where you go into the painting, right? Like you go into the world, and it feels a little bit different from like Dark Souls, which is just an
Archstones or
interconnected
something like
Archstone. That's what it is, just one like continuous universe. So I don't know if I agree with you. We'll have to go over this.
You go into a painting at one point in Dark Souls.
You do, yeah. You get sucked in.
I feel like we have to give the PS3 its flowers for Modern Warfare 2 as well, and because we talked about that with the 360, and that's on there as well.
That's fair.
Yeah,
And then
that's a good point.
Also, I don't know how big this was, but like I remember for me, I really was like kind of jealous of the PS3 because they had MAG, the multiplayer.
Massive, yeah, whatever.
Wait,
I thought that
wait,
was
what?
super cool.
What are
It
you
was
talking about?
It's like 100 versus 100 people multiplayer like war game.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
It had, like,
How
a
was it?
Flagship thing.
I didn't like own it, but I got to play it at a friend's house, and it was that thing where you have like rose-colored glasses because it's not what you have at home, And I was like, this game is the coolest thing.
This
I've
is
ever
nothing's
played.
better ever.
Dude, how in the world did that run on 2006 hardware?
Probably not well.
I
didn't
remember it
touch
being fine,
actually.
but like I'm sure I don't. Rose-colored glasses, it's hard to say. And then wasn't Blur exclusive to the PS3.
No, I think it was.
That was everything
on
Okay.
Xbox too.
Gotcha.
I think it was a ATV game, right?
No,
No,
it
that's a
was
racing
It was
game.
like street racing with
Very-
Mario Kart powers.
Yeah, I think that was on both.
Okay,
I'm
gotcha.
thinking of Pure. That's the game I'm thinking of. That's an ATV game.
Okay.
But anyways,
This is a tangent, but I just have to ask because Matt will know. Is this the era? This generation? Is this where we started getting DLCs and like actual like patches? Like there was almost like a shifting expectation that you would have your console connected to the internet, or was that also PS2 and Xbox?
ish. It wasn't. There wasn't. It was towards the back end. It didn't start that way. Notoriously, the company we want to blame is actually more Microsoft, and we specifically want to blame Bethesda for Oblivion and Horse Armor. That's where DLC like has kind of been tracked to like close to back to where it started, right? Because we can argue expansion packs for World of Warcraft and all of that type of stuff, right? But
Yeah, I've always heard Oblivion's Horse Armor was the first.
But Oblivion's Horse Armor was like the first time on a console where you could pay them
Okay.
extra money to just get armor to put on your horse that did nothing other than aesthetics.
That was 360 though, right?
That was 360, but PS3 and 360 kind of are the
Yeah.
competition to each other.
Okay,
right?
so this kind of was the generation where that started.
Yeah. So,
All right,
all right, boys.
PS3 versus PS2. Is it a competition?
Yeah,
I
so
mean, it's
PS2.
not to me.
Is
PS2. I
yeah.
think.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you made a pretty good case for the PS3. Like, there are a bunch of amazing franchises on here, but I'm gonna have to go with PS2 because they're just even more. What about you, Ryan?
I think I'm PS2. Yeah, it has to be with the catalog, and I just feel like it makes a bigger impact. The PS3 is pretty cool. I don't know, it did a lot of cool stuff, but yeah, PS2 seems like it made a bigger splash.
Cool. All right, the last one in round one, and then everything kind of goes. We've already justified.
We've already
them all,
talked
right?
them. Yeah, we should
So
be able
after
to
this
vote
one,
pretty
we'll
quick.
It'll be pretty quick, I think, after this. But the last one right here is we got the GameCube versus the. I even wrote X-Bone and not
Yeah.
Xbox Ones on my bracket.
I
know
too. That's
where
why I
this
got
is-
confused earlier.
know where this is going, but who wants to justify what?
Dumb versus dumber.
In fact, you know what? Here's the thing.
Dumb versus
you
dumber.
guys figure out who wants to fight for them, because obviously I love the GameCube. I actually cited wrong on history, and I bought the X-Bone at launch. I had a day one edition Xbox One and didn't get the PS4 until 6 months after it was out. That's how much of a 360 guy I was. A lot of people would probably think I'm a Sony pony most days, but anyway.
Interesting.
So
one of you guys take GameCube, because I didn't own one.
I would take GameCube. I love the GameCube, but you do too, don't you?
no, I'm saying
you're out.
You take one,
You
you
don't
take
want
the
it.
other
Oh,
for at least
okay,
here.
okay.
I'll obviously chime in.
I guess
can
that's
shut the hell
fair.
up.
You've done a lot of the consoles. We've overworked. I'll take GameCube then. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I can jump into it. The GameCube was amazing. I don't know. It's one of my favorites.
You're
but
amazing.
Thank you. Finally, somebody understands. So let's see. Released in 2001.
After the towers.
It's written down in our document, November, so after the towers. Thank you, Matt.
You're welcome. So we still need the good news then.
So I've just learned that Resident Evil 4 apparently was the GameCube platform of choice. That's actually pretty crazy. I didn't know that. We've got Mario Kart Double Dash. We've got Pikmin, Metroid Prime. As for the flagship Zelda game, I think the main one was Wind Waker, which had the crazy cool aesthetic.
Oh man, I love Wind Waker's aesthetic.
Man, the
but
cell shaded. Is it called cell shaded or yeah? That's so pretty. It also had like
it had Twilight Princess was a split game between Wii
both
and,
of them. Yeah, Twilight Princess was good.
Yeah,
it also had like almost like that Mario collection on the SNES. It had a Zelda collection, the collector's edition. Oh, I loved that. I don't know why. I think I played Ocarina on there.
I didn't put them. It also had Pokemon Coliseum, Pokemon Box, and
Shadow,
Pokemon Gale of Darkness, Gale of Darkness.
That game ruled. It also had Super Smash Bros. Melee. I would argue the best one, or at least the most important one, because that's the one people are still playing.
What Project M is based off of, right? Which is the big PC version.
Right. And that's the reason people are still fighting over CRT TVs. Not the only reason, but a big reason.
Yep. The way and the
controller
Wavebirds on there, because that wireless Wavebird controller like works with PCs and other
what?
And Project M, there's like a way to use that controller, and if you can use that controller with Project M, it's like the peak way to play Smash on PC.
That's cool.
Crazy
I didn't know
shit,
that.
dude.
Do you get an adapter, I guess, for the?
Yeah, I think
wow.
so.
Man, I've got some of those. I love those controllers. They were so
I wish
good.
I don't think I have a single one of those controllers.
You're not touching mine. Don't even think about it.
To this day, I've never understood the GameCube controller. Like, what's up with the little yellow stick? Why is it a different color? Why is it so tiny?
I think it's perfectly reasonable size.
Yeah, you can't think of the C stick, the yellow stick, as as an analog. It's not really an analog.
No.
It's more like a D-pad type situation.
Yeah,
where
you had like a wheel of things to select from. You would just kind of use that.
It's like a hardware radial wheel.
So you don't have two sticks for movement and camera?
No. Yeah.
You were using that for the camera in like first person games or like 3D games?
You didn't really do first person games so much. I don't know about how RE4 worked, but
yeah, I mean that's why you still had to stop.
Did you still have tank controls?
No, you didn't.
Okay, but you still had to stop.
You did have tank controls, but it was like the camera followed. Right, it introduced the third person, so the camera just stays behind Leon's shoulders the whole time in that game. But you still had to stop to shoot because you had to aim, and then when you're in aim mode, you use the actual joystick to move the gun around.
So, I mean, you really didn't have as many aiming games. You really have to picture more. Everything we just listed, like, Wind Waker, Double Dash, Metroid, they're either side-scrollers, they're like isometric games, or they're like...
Metroid's technically a FPS.
It is an FPS. How does that... Do you use the C-stick to aim?
Yeah. I cannot remember. Did you, like, walk through it? And, you obviously you control, but you always, like, lock on to aim at stuff.
And, lock in
kind of deal. And I think you... can't free move. I think you have to use like the shoulder buttons to like strafe.
That's crazy.
Actually, when you're like locked on and aiming and shooting.
Game Boy, that is kind of weird now that you're pointing that out. I never really realized like the analog stick situation, but I loved that controller. It was like so fun to use.
It's kind of a fun controller, and it does feel kind of good in your hands, but not optimal by any means.
Oh, for sure. Also on the GameCube had the Game Boy Player and the SP integration. You could plug in. I think it was on the bottom of the GameCube when you pop your Game Boy
and
games
you had a
in
disc
it.
too that it had to run.
That's right. Yeah.
The funny thing, you can get the attachment for like $20 now. The disc sells for like $240 right now.
Wow,
for that thing.
That's crazy.
But then like Zelda Four Swords Adventures or whatever, you could have your SP games and connect them through the cable to the GameCube and all play together on the same like screen for that game and stuff like that. It was a pretty wild thing. You had to have a lot of friends and a lot of hardware to do it. But
yeah, I don't know why this is making. We haven't really talked about Mario Party on any of the podcasts much. I don't think, right?
No,
there
I
was
guess
a
we
lot
didn't.
on the GameCube, though, right? Like I feel like there were a bunch on GameCube.
yeah, I mean, the series started on the 64.
64, yeah, but
And then a lot of people consider, from what I understand, like what was it 4, 5, and 6?
yeah, I
Like
think
the best
like
Mario
the golden
Kart, like,
era. Yeah, I think so.
So
I loved Mario Party. That's some of my favorite games. Okay, I think that sums it up pretty well for the GameCube. So, what you got for the Xbox One, Gavin?
Oh man. It's not a console that's aged well. So Xbox One 2013 release. Kinect was required at launch. Like you had to buy it with the console. Is that right?
Yep. Came bundled there. If you was unplugged, like it wouldn't let you do anything to the console.
No way.
Are you sure you had to plug it in?
100%.
Because I definitely had an Xbox One.
100%.
So like in the first wave, you're just saying like the first wave of releases,
they added
but later
like an update later on. But
okay. That's insane. And that's such a Microsoft thing to do. It's just to force a feature on people that no one wants. As far as the games, Halo 5 Guardians, I don't think I played that one. Did you play it, Matt?
I did, but just through the campaign, didn't touch any of the multiplayer or any of that stuff. And it was very much like meh, because you half played as Chief, half played as Locke,
that's
and all
what
that
people
stuff.
were.
Like, right.
Yeah, people were upset that you weren't like Master Chief the whole time, right?
Yeah.
Gears 4 and 5, which I mean, by all accounts, were pretty good games. Dead Rising 3, the Master Chief Collection, which is awesome.
But
still
wasn't
when it released. Yeah, that's fair.
But it has turned like it's a very good package now. But
It is. But I just, God, if we could get it out of Microsoft's grubby little hands, dude. I went to boot it up the other day just because I wanted to test gyro on the Steam controller. So I was like, oh, let me play a shooter. And I had to like recover my Microsoft account just to boot the game. Like I couldn't.
We just went through all this because we had our like little bro LAN party-ish thing at your house.
Yeah.
Like,
people were like, "Oh, you just like sign into your Microsoft account once, like as soon as you first boot the game." I'm like, "Okay, that's annoying, but fine." No, every time. I'm still so mad about it. But yeah, Xbox One did have Master Chief Collection. I feel like I'm crazy now because I was thinking that it did have like the later generation, like Halo 4 or ODST, but maybe that was 360 and maybe there was just cross compatibility there.
Should have been the cross compatibility because I know that 4 was a 360 game because it had a special edition 360 launched with it. That's sick looking.
Okay. I do remember playing Fallout 4 on the Xbox One. That was obviously not exclusive to it. I am really struggling to come up with any. Well, I mean, I think that's
exclusives. Valid enough, right? If is anyone voting for this? It's
no,
GameCube, right?
I'm not. I'm not. But also, I feel like I have a hot take that the GameCube is just really overrated. But I've never owned one, so once again, it's just me talking out of my ass.
All right, well, fair.
I just feel like it was that era where, it was like the edgy, like teenager, like I'm getting into shooters and I'm like, why are people still buying these like kids consoles? Like that was the attitude I had about it at the time. I feel like now I can kind of start to respect these beloved franchises.
I kind of felt I had a similar feeling with the edgy, like I wanted to be edgy with the 360, but it was like a breath of fresh air when you boot on the GameCube and it's like you're playing these colorful games. And
yeah.
I don't know.
Not everything soaked in sepia.
Yeah. It was the era of sepia for sure.
And you could actually like play games like Mario Party with normal people.
Like less sweaty stuff. All right, so GameCube.
GameCube's got to take it, I guess.
All right, boys. now we just kind of run through the bracket, I think.
Yeah, we can bump down the list pretty quick, probably. So the first second round matchup would be Wii versus N64.
Who's casting the first vote, boys?
Man.
I will always vote first if you guys want. I will always wait until the end if you want me to vote last. I don't care.
That's so tough. I'm gonna vote Wii. Fight me.
Okay. Spicy. I like it. Well, what is your reasoning?
I just feel like I don't know. Well, you kind of sold me earlier when you said it kind of broke containment of gamers. It's
did.
like it with the zeitgeist was everybody. It was all of like everybody had a Wii. I don't know. So I love the N64 personally, but I also love the Wii, and that's crazy. Like everybody probably still has a Wii in their garage, and we'll probably get it back out to play Wii bowling or Wii Sports bowling at some point.
No, that's fair. It is maybe a tougher matchup than I thought it would be on paper. Just like as we're talking about it, I'm realizing, you know what, I had a ton of fun on that thing. But man, it's hard to deny all the amazing games on N64 and the impact it's had on gaming. I'm going to go with N64.
No, that's totally
all right,
fair.
Good. All right, I don't have to get mad right out of the gate. The N64 is moving forward.
That was really tough for me. I don't know.
Just to pick Matt. Just to piss
I actually don't have. Until a week ago, when a buddy brought a whole bunch of stuff to me, I don't own a Wii.
Yeah, that's fair.
I own 2 Wii U's, which are Wii's, but I don't just have a Wii out there. So
that one was a tough one for me. That was honestly a hot take. It was an audible. I call it. I'm kind of happy N64.
Dark horse pick. I like it.
It's the best case scenario for me because I love the N64 too. So
yeah.
Next one's easy for me. I'm going 360 all day from PS4 versus Xbox 360.
It's a closer matchup than I would like it to be. Honestly, the PS4 has so many good games, but I have to agree, just in terms of like personal experience and nostalgia, it's 360 for me. What about you, Matt?
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat. Like that kicked off some online friends that have migrated to PS4 with me, like that I still have today. They started through the 360 online. So yeah, I mean,
nice,
right?
And funny,
if NES would have been here, it would have been over the PS4 for me, but it would have been knocked out by this point. I think that at that point by you guys.
Yeah, so. I mean, you made a very good NES case, but we don't have the experience. All right, next one we got SNES versus Switch.
What's it gonna be, Matt?
Yeah, I feel like you go first.
Yeah, it's the Super Nintendo.
It's gotta be for you. Right?
It's not even close, is it?
Yeah, no, it's not. And I mean, you guys have seen the shelf out there. I'm a big Switch guy. I love the Switch games. I still like fawn over the childlike wonder in the games. I've not lost that. I get excited for Mario Wonder to come out and Mario Odyssey, and I'm excited for the new Yoshi game. I think that technically it's a Switch 2 exclusive, but still there was there have been Yoshi games on like all of that stuff. I still feed into that crowd. And I'm even more hyped up on all of it now that I'm a father, and I get to do all of this stuff through all of these consoles, like with exposing him as he's growing up, right, to all of these games. But the same thing with Super Nintendo. I get to take him back to all of this stuff because I'm a huge retro collector, right?
Are you going to make him start with like the Super Nintendo?
Yeah, I give him a console. Like he's got to beat the 3 games I choose, and once he beats those 3 games, he gets the upgrade.
Yeah.
So
you're gonna end up like forcing him to hate video. He's gonna be like the biggest jock, and he's gonna hate video games.
But damn it, if he won't be cultured.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Ryan? SNES or Switch?
This is tougher than I thought it'd be, but I'm going Switch. I believe. I'm sorry, Matt.
I know it's really just the who got stuck letting Matt down.
You have really put me on the hot seat here because man, the amount of games on. I just feel like NES and SNES aren't that distinct. I don't know. I mean, you're saying it's basically a case that it ran the same games, just updated for 16-bit architecture.
Yeah. It refined everything. Anything that you would have had issue-wise with NES games, it made them better.
Oh, man.
Because they did re-release a lot of the stuff, right? So
okay. Oh man, did you just do this just to fuck me, Ryan?
I think you should be on my side. Easy.
I mean, it's tough because personal experience, yeah, it's the Switch, but I mean, I never owned an SNES. Like I said, my parents did have an NES, and I played like original Mario, Duck Hunt, those kinds of games, and had a lot of fun with it. But like, it was a retro console even then, whereas the Switch is something like I've owned recently and actually used a lot, like, I don't know if hundreds of hours, but a lot of hours. Man, it is a toss-up. I feel like I might not be able to pick here. I feel like I need one of you to swing your votes.
I feel like the Nintendo Switch honestly climbs the list of GOATs for me, like of how well it's sold and how every child in the world totes one around, and is probably like it's a big boom for video gaming. And the progenitor of
How many games you beat on the Nintendo Switch?
No, I'm not the biggest fan. I'm not the biggest fan, but I'm saying from like
But it's your vote.
I mean, I'm voting, but it is also the progenitor of my beloved handheld PCs.
No,
I believe
the
so.
Superboy, the Wii U.
I think it's the
The
Switch.
Wii U is the.
It's not the Wii U.
It is the Wii U.
The Switch proved that everybody wants portability. The Wii U is still tethered.
The Wii
You're
U
right,
is
Ryan.
testing, figuring that out.
No.
You're right. The Switch was a proof of concept and not much more. It's going to the SNES.
Oh, dang, that's crazy. All right.
Final matchup of the first round.
My heart is broken. We move onward. PS2, GameCube.
Okay. Anybody?
Gavin, you want to cast?
Gavin,
the first
go
vote
ahead
since you-
because yours is obvious.
Yeah. All right. It's PS2 hands down. Don't need to talk about why.
I know what I've got.
Interesting. This is actually really, really tough for me because I think the GameCube swings pretty hard. PS2's got the library. It's very strong. I have personal feelings with the GameCube. We've been going personal, though. We've been getting personal with it. I'm going GameCube.
I'm also realizing that in your notes for PS2, you did not list Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't list that. That's a good. That's a.
That is
That's
true.
Baller
a
ass
big
franchise,
core
dude.
franchise for me as a kid.
Yeah. Yeah. You're the only person voting for the GameCube. So.
That's
All right.
crazy.
PS2 it is.
Oh, I'm getting blown out over here. All right.
Are you saving that clip?
Saving that clip.
We've made it to our
All
semifinal now.
The final four.
So who are the the final four? Who are the players that are left? We've got N64 versus 360 in one matchup, and SNES versus PS2 in the other matchup. I feel like one of these is going to be closer than the other, so maybe we should start with the one that's not going to be close. And I don't know, maybe Matt's going to scowl at me for saying that, but SNES, PS2.
I wanted it so bad I wrote GameCube down. Got confused.
just wrote GameCube.
I had to just erase it just now. All right, SNES, PS2.
This is how confident.
saying
This is how confident I am on what's winning this. There we go.
Just because you know how we'll vote, or
No,
it's your actual opinion?
That's actually just my vote too. Is the PS2 for this?
Matt's got PS2.
So.
I'm gonna guess Ryan, since you didn't even want the SNES to advance.
This is tougher for me than the Switch versus SNES personally. Because like now we're talking, for me personally, we're talking just two very like iconic, like we're talking about like I don't know, like I don't have a ton of personal experience with either. I'm gonna go PS2 though. I think it's got more going for it with the huge catalog.
gas.
Yeah.
All right, PS2, and it is unanimous.
What was your Your PS2 as well?
Yeah. Oh man, which is really setting the stage for a heck of a final. But our final matchup in the semifinal round, N64 versus 360. What are you thinking, guys?
I know where I'm at, but it does make the final round real hard. I know where I'm at for the final now too, but I think I was at this spot with the
How
final
do you
anyway.
know? Oh man.
Yeah. This is very tough, but I'm gonna go 360. I believe.
I concur.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Same here. Yeah, 360. But it's not a blowout. Let's say it that way.
For
Like
sure.
the N64
It's
is
not.
holding its own in this round.
yeah, I could easily see where that's the winner for other people.
Yeah.
And like one of the biggest things I'm thinking about is like literally Gears of War 1 just had its like light remake, but none of the mechanics were changed, and I can still play that game today without any frustration or relearning like a learning curve. And even touching Mario 64, if we were to plug that in and play it right now, there would be a learning curve for I think all three of us to get back into the vibe.
People forget how bad the camera controls are.
Yeah, and stuff like that.
Oh man. Okay.
Right, the big dogs, the final round. I think when we proposed the episode, I think we all knew in the back of our head where this all roads lead.
Wasn't the other random bracket? We made a secondary random bracket because wasn't this?
It was like,
they were like
it was in the first round, and I was like,
right.
no,
Like,
we got this is the championship. Yeah.
Xbox 360 versus PlayStation 2.
Oh my god. This is
tough.
agonizing. Matt says he knows.
Yeah.
Ryan, do you know where?
I know where I'm at.
You know where you're at.
I
Oh god.
think he does. I think I know where Ryan's at, which I think screws you over.
No, I'm respecting both of these big players, and we love to see what they've brought to the game. But I know where I'm at.
Ryan's talked a lot of shit about PlayStation this week.
I'm taking in a lot about all of this. I'm even taking in the rise that came with the 360 to the complete fucking disaster shit butt ass fall.
The fall
of Microsoft's gaming.
That didn't happen during the 360 era.
It did not, but
You're putting that on the 360?
I'm just saying, like, it was downhill from there hard.
Yeah, exactly. This was
very hard.
Well, I mean, I'm going to stop being coy. The 360's my beloved.
And the PS2 is clearly mine.
Oh no. Oh god. Make sure you
Those were the golden years. Yeah, it's downhill from there, but you can't put that on the 360.
And like, there's weird caveats of like,
what do you mean? You can't put the manufacturing defects on the console that was manufactured with the defects?
With the okay, I see what you're saying. I thought you were just talking.
And if the console slightly moved with a disc in it, it would scratch.
Oh, that's true. You best not pick that thing
I had
up.
some bad experience.
Taking it to your friend's house.
Yeah. No, I've ruined several games that way. Terrible.
I've got a scar. I've got a scar on my back from an original PlayStation 2 falling off of a cabinet like 3 foot above my head and cutting my back open, and then cleaning it up and then putting it back up there and just playing.
He tried
back
to kill you, and you got his back like that.
Matt, I need you to give me your pitch for PS2 over 360. I understand Ryan's argument, which is basically he didn't really play Sony games.
Well, this closer than it seems, because PS2 it's like one of the goats. But yeah, go ahead. What you got, Matt?
Why am I gonna get put in the hot seat? So I mean, I truthfully
because you love both of them.
It was out first, right? Is that what we got?
I think that's what we had. Yeah, before the towers.
So
out first, yeah. They're not even the same era, right?
No, they are. Never mind. Out first. So introduction to online gaming, though cumbersome to some degree and finicky. We had that, so some foundation there. But we could also counter argument that technically the Sega Dreamcast had an online component where you could play games online, and that came out.
I was just about to say that.
So, like, if we want to try to immediately counter argue stuff.
But in the comments, people were about to say that. So.
Okay, so the game library is crazy.
It is crazy.
And the quality of that game library is crazy. It is not like the shit, like, especially like today. And even like because the 360 started adding like the Xbox Live Arcade, where any fucking Joe Schmo could get a game out, and like getting games to market was like really easy. Whereas there was still like a lot of risk reward to the extreme with the PS2, and a lot of the catalogs very quality games, even like cheap games by today's standards. In fact, most of the expensive games actually suck ass in a lot of ways.
That's a good point. 360 was pretty much carried by Halo and Gears, right?
So the DVD player piece, right? And again, also, if we want to talk about exclusives, then hands down, because a lot of the shit on the 360, anything we want to argue Modern Warfare, that type of stuff, that's
on
over,
both. Yep.
That's over on both. So
yep.
It's just, I can't think kind of to that just perspective. That's whatever you ended up with those games, or what your friends had influenced it, right?
Is 360 it's the same generation as PS3 though, right?
Yeah. Correct.
Okay.
So trying to think.
Halo 3 was unbelievable.
God, Halo 3 was
know
so
it.
fucking good.
Picture
man.
this.
But so was all your childhood time with Ratchet and Clank.
That too, yes.
You're
your
playing
formative years.
Infection on that big sand map on Halo
Sand
3.
Trap, baby.
Yes.
Think
You were
about
playing
life.
Halo football on that thing.
Or the
Yes.
zombie game. With
Yes.
that was,
Dude.
but also think about playing games before you knew what depression was.
You're right. Like that was like before I even cared about girls. Like life was so simple. Man, the PS2 was a perfect time. But that's interesting that you're talking about online play. Because I mean, I'm a little bit younger than you, but still, PS2 for me was firmly offline. 360 was where I really started getting into online multiplayer.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's probably true for all of us as far as like getting into it.
Just in terms of the hours spent and the formative memories, it's gonna have to be 360 for me. But man, it is a photo finish. It is close.
I knew when we talked about brackets. I kind of knew exactly. Okay, now I'll even go so far as to write it on its little pedestal on my list. I won't just act like the list.
I feel like I've let you down. I tried to at least get the SNES past the Switch. I do what I can. You ask me tomorrow, it could be the PS2 if I'm feeling especially nostalgic.
It's funny, though, just those conversations of, like, I'm not necessarily upset that the 360 wins. I've got a lot of good memories and good times with it. And we're all within 4 years of age with each other, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's like just the, like, completely different, like, I guess we've all been gaming for a long time, but I guess the different levels of diversity and kind of routes we've taken, even from dipping away from consoles in a lot of ways,
Right.
onto the PC space, right? And then all your crazy handheld shit that you do.
That's the episode we need. We need to get all the weird handhelds of the world. When you try all the form factors. Oh baby. Yeah, it is interesting though, because like we have more overlap than I thought with like the multiplayer of the 360 and everything. Because like with you being a few years older, but like it's your Call of Duties are later than I would have expected. If Black Ops 2 was your big one,
well, I didn't have my own 360 until 2010. My grandmother bought it for me as my graduation gift from high school. So I didn't have my own until then. So I was still playing the PS2. Like, it's what I owned. I had friends that I was close with that, like, one, I lived with. And others I stayed the night with. They had them at launch. So, I always had access. One of my buddies was so terrified of horror games, he would buy them and get them for his 360, and I played them while he watched. And he lived out on a farm out in, like, the woods, and it was fucking...
That sounds so hype.
That's sick.
Like, very great memories of that. Silent Hill Downpour, or Homecoming specifically, which is considered like one of the worst.
I played Homecoming, yeah.
Wait, hold up. Can we just do that now? Like, I would love to watch one of you guys play, like, Silent Hill 2 or Resident Evil games, because I really like these games,
That would be
but
sick.
I do not really want to pilot, you know?
Hey, I think those count as your backlog games, and I don't see why we can't ever have like my buddy's backlog stream where it's one of us playing and the other's like watching and commenting.
That's fun.
And managing the chat to some degree, managing the chat. And
let us know what you think.
You saying this makes me want to watch you play a Silent Hill game.
There's also that. Like that.
Dude,
I don't know if I could. I'd probably be like, bro, it's clear. All you got to do is like rip the wings off the butterfly to then put them on the caterpillar. And shove them on
You're just not phased by anything, man. I had to have two friends come over to watch me play. Not one, but two people come over to watch me play Resident Evil 2 Remake to finish it. Because I was in that fucking sewer, and I was like low on ammo. I was playing on hard or whatever. I'm like, I cannot do this. This is too terrifying. I still haven't finished Soma. I don't know if you guys know that. We're on a tangent now, but I haven't finished Dead Space 2.
Oh man, that's a good one.
Yeah,
we're gonna start watching Gavin playing horror games. I found our Twitch and YouTube content.
Yeah,
this is fantastic.
All these clips of people screaming. You're about to be one of them, bro. Sorry,
those are all peak games.
We're exploiting the shit out of you.
Oh, we found our cash cow.
Right, anything for the clicks, baby. I'll take it. But yeah, if you're out there, write in. Let us know what you thought of this format. If you enjoyed the bracket format, let us know how wrong we are about all of our picks, and what you would have done differently.
I think on that note, we've got all our socials, My Buddy's Backlog on all the different platforms. You can email us. We got our first email this week. We're going to talk about that later on a real episode, a non-Backlog After Dark. But you can email us at my.buddies.backlog@gmail.com. And let us know if you have any other brackets. I like the bracket. That was fun. If you have any other ideas for that or different segments we could do, let us know. But I think that wraps it up for this episode.
Yeah.
So
I'm good.
Thank you.
So, sweet. PS2 is technically better. Bye.
Sorry to let you down, Matt. Bye, y'all.